Welcome back to Lockdown Electronics with me, Bill. Today we're going to be looking at another little kit in the shape of the MAJ Electronics logic probe and hopefully build ourselves a useful piece of test gear. So we'll get to it. Okay, well this is the MAJ Electronics logic probe kit. Arrived in this rather nice anti-static bag. List of components on the front, and as you can see I've got IC, a few discrete components, a socket and a nice little circuit board, and hopefully I'm going to find something maybe the size of a flip chart pen or a glue pen that I can get that circuit board inside and make it into a useful instrument to use. So when the kit arrives, just comes in a little padded bag like that, obviously with the paperwork, etc. So you need to download the instructions, which are here from MAJ Electronics, and it's a very straightforward download. And this is actually quite nice. It contains various information about logic probes, how they work, explanation of the circuit, and then construction information very clearly laid out, and helpful information on component identification. So the circuit's quite simple, really. It's based around a single logic IC that contains 4 NOR gates, and there's a better description than I'm likely to give actually in the downloadable document. So if you're keen, I can encourage you to read that. But essentially it uses the 4 NOR gates in various configurations and drives 3 LEDs to tell you whether it's logic high, logic low, or whether it's oscillating. So that's the plan. It shouldn't be too difficult to construct. So now let's have a look at the components. So here are the components set out ready for construction. Got the PCB, got the chip itself, the NOR gates, a socket, a couple of capacitors, some resistors, LEDs and some connecting wires, and the all-important probe, which is a little spring-loaded probe to solder on to the board. It goes on there, and then hopefully we've got a little logic probe to do the business. Very nice little circuit board, very clearly laid out, and it's all very nicely done. So I think the other thing as well is you don't even need a multimeter to construct this kit, because you can actually quite clearly see the value of the resistors. The markings are very clear. So ideal as a beginner's kit. Okay, so what I've done first is I've soldered on the things that aren't going to be too affected by heat. So I've put on the chip socket, making sure to get it level with the board, and I've also put on what they call the pogo stick. That's the probe, and I was just conscious that I was going to have to use quite a bit of heat there, but in actual fact it was even though the document does suggest that you need to be careful how you do that. I tinned the pad, and then I put a little bit of flux onto the pogo stick, tinned that as well, placed them together, just supported the end, and just touched the iron on it, and it's actually soldered on nicely. So everything else is a relatively low amount of heat, so hopefully that's going to be good. Okay, that's the resistors and the capacitors all soldered to the board. Very straightforward. Last thing to put on now is the LEDs. The only comment I'd make is the resistors really do need to have their leads folded exactly at right angles to the body, so that they fit in the hole spacing. It's very snug, but that was very straightforward, so good progress. Okay, well here's the finished board. Resistors, capacitors, integrated circuit now in its socket, and the 3 LEDs. Just to be aware with the LEDs that positive is on that side for the green, and it's on the opposite side for the yellow and the red. The longer lead is the positive, and I've soldered them quite close to the board, so I was very quick with the soldering iron, so I didn't allow too much heat to enter the body of the LED. So hopefully that's all going to be good. So next thing to do is go looking for some kind of enclosure. Okay, so here is the completed logic probe, and my wife has very kindly found me a little beads container which I've been able to just about fit the circuit board inside. So I've got a hole at that end allowing the probe tip, and at this end I've got 5-volt supply leads and a ground for the a digital ground for the probe to work against. So I've got 5 volts available here on the breadboard, so I'll just switch that on, and as you can see, no indication at all on the probe, but the moment I attach the digital ground to ground, we get a yellow indication which says the probe is detecting a floating input, and of course that's quite correct because I'm not connected to anything, so it is floating. It's neither logic 1 nor 0. So I've got a couple of jumpers set up on the board here, so we'll just probe 0, so this should be no volts, and straight away we get a red indication. Just turn the probe so you can see that there against the reflections. So yellow is floating, red 0, see that indication there, and then let's probe plus 5 volts and we get green. Not quite so easy to see, it looks a little bit clearer than it does on the camera if I'm honest. So logic 0, logic 1 and floating. So very pleased with that. That's the probe in a little packet and going to be a useful little bit of test equipment. So next thing to do is to try it out with a few digital signals and see how we go. Okay, well that's it for another video. I'm very pleased with that little logic probe, which worked out rather well, and I've managed to get quite a nifty case to protect it, so that's good. So I've got a useful piece of test gear. So next step is to do a bit of exploration of some logic circuits and actually make use of the test gear to check that out. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I would encourage you to consider having a go. That's a really easy kit to build and produces a nice piece of test gear that you can use. So why not have a go, get involved. I'll put some links down below to where you can get the kit from, and if you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up, and if you haven't, you can click the thumbs down. Either way, would appreciate the feedback, and be absolutely great if you could subscribe. That would help me, and we'll see you on the next video.